Hi, everybody. Welcome to Unapologetic. Today, we have a special guest on the show. You'll find out just who. And we're going to be talking about Elon's takeover of Twitter and what it means for the left and the far-right pipeline. Let's get into it.
Young Apollo with the
Welcome in, guys. Today on the show, we have Zuby Music. Zuby, what's up?
Happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're happy to be here. We wanted to bring you in because you're basically the Twitter king. You're very well known for your concise, punchy statements on Twitter, and you just passed, 900,000 on the platform, which is insane.
Yeah, I just checked, and it's at 906 now.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I've gained
really crazy.
I've gained 22,000, I think, since Elon took over 4 days ago.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. So do you think that it was just him taking over that people were suddenly hopping on the platform, or do you think some things
I was
lifted?
suppressed.
Yeah.
I've been suppressed since October 2020.
And if you go and check out his Twitter profile, you'll know exactly why.
Me? What do you mean? What have I done now?
I mean, based on the leftist standards for the platform of this long, you are like, come at it. You don't care. You're saying the statement and you are just being real despite all the ideology that's circulating on the platform. Were you always like this?
Yeah, privately.
Yeah.
I was, in 2018, I started to publicly use my platforms to talk more about what's going on in the socio-cultural realm. Mm-hmm. Due to a number of reasons, I just started to speak out more. And I had a couple tweets go viral, which put me on the radar, honestly, of millions of people. Mm-hmm. The most famous one being the infamous deadlift tweet back in February 2019.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, when I posted that, I had 18,000 on Twitter.
It's just amazing.
And that was after, I've been on Twitter since 2009. Mm-hmm. So it took me 10 years to get to 18,000.
Right.
And then another 3.5 years, and it's now approaching 1 million. So
it's insane to think of just like when people create this sort of echo chamber on these platforms across the board, somebody who's willing to cut through it and speak truth is going to skyrocket if they allow them to.
Yes.
And that's the issue.
Yes.
So let's get into Elon buying Twitter. I imagine this is something you're pretty excited about. You think?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Okay, good.
Very happy because it was going back and forth.
Yeah.
And when it was first announced, that first week it was announced, I gained 75,000 followers that week.
Insane. Because
the limiters came off my account. Like, I can very clearly tell, like, people don't know, people are familiar with shadow banning, but I think most people don't know that social media platforms can just suppress accounts.
Yep.
And they can remove followers. They artificially remove followers from your account.
Yep.
So my follower count was suppressed from what it's supposed to be. And so the fetters came off, and then it kind of seemed like he wasn't going to buy it. Mm-hmm. And they came back on, and my growth slowed down by 95% again.
Yeah.
And they've come back open, and I'm back to gaining 100 followers per hour,
yeah,
which is what it's supposed to be.
It's just the same exact thing happened to me. I think I grew like 10,000 more followers on Twitter, and I barely even use Twitter. You guys know it. I'm working on it, guys. And they are actively suppressing people. So it's interesting to see somebody like Elon come in and just immediately have changes like this happen. I want to get in with you on the left's response to Elon buying Twitter, because there's been some interesting takes. It's really interesting because they're trying to combat this idea of allowing free speech on these platforms.
Isn't it telling that only one side of the political aisle is concerned about the other side being able to speak?
It should be.
Yeah.
You would think so.
Look, there are so many ridiculous and bad and we consider detrimental and potentially dangerous society ideas that are out there floating around.
Right.
And we're not trying to ban, censor, and deplatform.
At all.
Right? At all.
We're inviting them.
Yeah. So it's so interesting to me that only... Elon Musk is not even some right-winger.
No.
Right? It's just that he's an advocate for freedom of speech and allowing people to debate and have conversations. So the fact that some people are so terrified of that, meanwhile trying to claim that Twitter, never had a bias before. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, if they never had a bias before, then why are you so afraid of them not having a bias now? Exactly.
And it's so clear that they're just scared of losing their stronghold on the American mind and on what people see. And I think there's no better example of this than watching these people on MSNBC talk about Elon taking over Twitter. Let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
It's so important to talk about the kind of upsides of Twitter, because it's easy to laugh about, Twitter's a hell site and we all hate Twitter and we all have our issues with Twitter. But it has been a vital communications platform for pro-democracy activists, for anti-corruption activists globally. You look at the Arab Spring. You look here in the United States at the 2020 racial justice protests, coordinated online in many ways. And I just have to ask the question, what if his plan is to basically just destroy Twitter, undermine it, destroy its credibility? Where does that leave us in a world without Twitter? Again, people love to joke and snarkily say Twitter's not real life, but Twitter's had a massive impact, both positive and negative, on real life.
So, Mehdi, I do think we should take a step back and look at what the plan for the right-wing internet was a few years ago. So the plan by these Steve Bannon and Peter Thiel types was to create a balkanized internet. Basically, make it so the big platforms had much less power. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, those places had much less power. And then as they start to have their power wane, replace them with other things. Truth Social, Gab, all these other.
What does he mean by power waned?
Yeah, that was the agenda all along.
Yeah, dude, you mean you're actively censoring us?
Truth Social wasn't even on the radar or being planned. They're talking like this was like a decade plan. Okay, this is what we're going to do. It's like these platforms, Getter, Truth Social, Parler, they came because so many people were getting censored and deplatformed. Exactly. It wasn't some right-wing conspiracy.
You guys necessitated the creation of these platforms. It's unbelievable to hear them try and twist words, and you can just tell underlying all of this is the fact that they are scared of not being able to lie.
Twitter's first controversial days.
And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into some of the controversy that sprung up once Elon Musk bought Twitter, and I'm very curious to hear your take on it. We're going to continue listening to these guys for some reason, though. Let's do that.
And we're sort of heading towards that balkanization. We're heading towards that space where all information is flat, where if you're on the right, you go to Truth Social, you go to Gab, if you're, even further to the right, maybe. And if you're, if you're a regular news consumer, maybe you just give up. Maybe you just stay on TikTok. Maybe you don't look at the news at all. And at the end of the day, that benefits the right-wing, far right-wing media ecosystem, which thrives on myths and conspiracy theories and lies about people in cities. So, look, that's at the end of the day, that's going to be the issue here. There is no replacement. Nobody was building a replacement in the meantime. Twitter is not a great website to hang out on all day. As journalists, we both have to do that. But it's unfortunately the best thing we got in terms of getting information out to people when they need it. If that goes away, I don't really know what's going to happen. There's no replacement right now.
What?
This is so funny. Elon Musk spent $44 billion because his goal is to destroy the platform. That's normally why people buy a company, so that they can just destroy it.
And I just want to talk about, he said, the far right-wing media ecosystem, which thrives on myths and conspiracy theories and lies. That's what you're putting out on Twitter. Are you part of this? I guess so.
I didn't know I was appearing on a far-right conspiracy theorist podcast.
Well, your tinfoil hat's actually underneath the seats. Go ahead and put that on. Now, I'm curious, because there's people who are going to retort back to this and say, these guys are absolutely right. As soon as Elon Musk bought Twitter, the use of the N-word went up. I don't know what the random stat
500% or something.
500% on the platform. How do you feel about this?
I think it's probably them.
Yeah.
Is there any account that looks like a human being that is using that?
See, this I don't know.
And also I have not seen. I've got a very big following, and I have not seen a 500%. I haven't seen any increase in racial slurs. Yeah, you can probably search I'm sure you can search on Twitter for that particular word, which is what I'm sure they're all doing.
Yes.
And sort of run some numbers. And I bet all those accounts it's coming from are some username with 500 letters, which was created in October 2020, October 2022, and has 12 followers, and has some frog profile or some whatever. It's bots.
Yeah,
it's bots. People don't but I mean, I think a lot of people actually know that. But
yeah, now I think Elon has brought light to that issue quite a bit. But I think, even if you have somebody like Elon Musk buying Twitter and suddenly a bunch of people say are emboldened to put the N-word out on there, it's not his fault that they feel that emboldenment. It's the fact that you've created a platform where that was totally nobody could put out any sort of opinion. So when you allow people to hop on, they're going to put the most radical thing out there just as a means of having that muzzle taken off.
If those people are humans, they're saying that to piss off these guys.
Exactly.
Not to upset even us.
Exactly.
Right? They're just like, oh, look, they're freaking out that this is going to happen. Oh, let's make this happen. Let's just go on and just let me create a new account and just write this. And then, oh, look, I can get a reaction on MSNBC.
Exactly. The reality is they're scared of not being able to control political discourse.
I think it's important for people to recognize, look, in the USA, that word is legal to use. But most people don't run around screaming it at each other in the real world or online. Not because of laws, but because I know it's hard for some people to believe. Most people don't want to use that word. And most people actually there's morality that exists outside what is legal and what is not. And there are social norms and there is human decency and civility. So this idea, because they always, here's something insidious that they do. I don't know if you've noticed this. They always try to use black people as the sort of, as the explanation of why certain things can't be allowed, right? So they'll say, oh, well, people are just going to start throwing the N-word out at black people. It's like, wait, why, how am I involved in this thing? You're trying to use me and, all those poor black people, they're suddenly going to all get attacked on Twitter and social media if this thing's not, and it's like, that's not reality. But I've noticed this with so many issues. They love to jump to, black people and people of color and black and brown. I'm like, bro, leave me out of this.
Every time.
This has not.
Voter ID. Black people. It's going to affect the butt.
Every time.
Excuse me.
That's what I mean.
I think we're capable. Yeah, every time that they can find an angle where it's just we utilize black people as the pawns or this victim for said issue, we will do it.
They even do it with abortion. They do it with everything. Oh, but the black women, marginalized black and brown women now are going to have to suffer, and every issue they want to push, they're just like, okay, let's implicate black people into this somehow, and that's going to somehow gain sympathy.
And it's interesting because there are other fellow black people that contribute to this. Here's Trevor Noah, a quote that he said about Twitter, quote, charge white people to say the N-word.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I hadn't even read that.
No.
I hadn't even read that when I was just, wow.
You can see a story pop up now and I just go, okay, they're going to say this, and this, and then you just wait for the tweets to trickle out from the blue check marks. But, okay, so here's this quote.
Funny.
Charge white people to say the N-word. Twitter will be the most profitable company in history. Racists will be taking out loans. End quote.
All those mysterious racists out there who have just been secretly just want to scream the N-word at everyone.
Yep.
But they haven't been because of Twitter moderation policies.
Exactly.
I got to add here, I pulled up the article that the Twitter's head of safety, Yoel Roth, according to him, over 50,000 tweets using a particular slur came from just 300 accounts.
There we go. Bots. It's bots. These people are so dishonest, and I wouldn't even be surprised, honestly. Just like people fake hate crimes against themselves, I wouldn't be surprised if some of those are created by leftists.
Oh, 100%. You go on Twitter, you tweet the N-word, a couple hundred times, and then that goes into their stat of 500% increase.
Yeah. No, I genuinely like to see. I have not seen a single account that is clearly an actual human being using that type of language and rhetoric. Anytime someone's, oh, well, look at this. And I go to the account, it's like, bro, it's 3 followers, account created October 2022. Like, can you not see what's going on here?
It's just unbelievable. And they'll use any tactic they can to get at this and accuse Elon of somehow being this evil person who's buying this platform for his own interest. Here's one more. Months after Elon Musk's transgender daughter changed her name and said she wanted nothing to do with him, Musk is planning to axe a section of Twitter's hateful content policy that penalizes people for misgendering and deadnaming trans people. What a vile, vile man.
This guy's got the right name.
Very smart.
Oh, he's got pronouns. Look at the pronouns. Look at the pronouns in bio. His pronouns are they, he. I've never seen that one. Have you seen they, he before?
I've seen people who are like, I take all pronouns. You just give me all pronouns.
Yeah.
They, he, she.
That's me.
That's you?
Yeah,
You'll
call me
take
whatever.
anything?
I'm not a snowflake.
When's your next weightlifting
You can call me a Zimzera. Like, I don't. if I'm going to have a mental breakdown by someone misgendering me, I have bigger issues.
I'm just curious to see, because we've even noticed in the past few days that the fact checks are getting more and more reasonable on Twitter. And I'm just waiting to see how long people last. I'm curious what you think about the verification policy that's now going to be this $8 a month. We were talking about it earlier, and we're like, it kind of takes away from the meaning of verification for me if you're going to pay for it rather than having Twitter go through its own set of guidelines and check your whether or not they can verify who you are and just give you your own credibility. Why the $8 a month?
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I think I think right now too many things are being conflated in the policy. I don't know exactly what their ideas are.
Sure.
If I were in Elon's position, I would have sort of 2 or 3 verification methods. I would just have the verification for public figures as it currently is, musicians, actors, athletes, people who could be impersonated. Big personalities, people might impersonate them, try to run scams, put out false tweets under the name, that kind of thing. I think that should stay as it is. I think there should be verification that you are a human, right? I think there should be a simple verification where it's not mandatory, but if you just want to prove that you are a human and you're not a bot, then you can verify your identity with Twitter, and there's some type of marker for that, right? And then people can filter off that if they want to. And then I think there should be a premium version of Twitter, like there is right now with Twitter Blue. Twitter Blue right now, it could be better, right? I think they should improve that offering. That's the one that you pay for, and you can get some type of mark. It shouldn't be I don't think conflating it with normal verification is the right way. I think there should just be a premium, and you get Twitter, maybe it's ad-free. You can edit your tweets within the first 5 or 10 minutes. There's tons of features I'd like to have on Twitter, because especially when you have a larger. By the way, I'd happily pay. I'm not going to give him ideas, but I'd pay quite a lot of money to. I'd pay a pretty big monthly fee for Twitter if I got a lot of additional tools, and I know a lot of other people out there would. Right. So I think they should just have maybe 3 different verification tiers: the premium, the verification as we know it. This is a public figure. We don't want people impersonating them. This is the real Zuby. This is the real Amala. This is the real, this is the real Joe Biden. Right. So you don't have a gazillion fake Biden accounts out there, and you can't tell which is the real one. And then, and then just one that shows you're human, and that'll help to deal with some of the bot problem, and some of the concerns people have. And it means you can still be anonymous if you want, but people can just be verified. Okay, you're talking to a human being. This is not some bot running out of China who you're now having an argument.
And I saw that he actually responded to you about monetizing for bigger creators, which I think is going to be a massive move. I think Twitter is based around people like you, people like Elon, the actual creators. Those are what people go to the platform for. So I'm excited to see it. And I don't know that this is going to change Twitter's course and it's going to become the most popular social media app to exist right now. But I do think this is going to be a big win.
It is. I think it's already noticeably better in the last few days. It's already better. And so, look, Elon Musk is one man. He's one man, but he's the man in the arena. I always have respect for the man in the arena. I think that he has good intentions for this. He's not going to be able to satisfy everybody, right? There's going to be conservatives mad. There's going to be people on the left mad. There's going to be, because I know people who think that everything that is legal should be allowed on Twitter. I don't hold that position.
Okay.
I don't hold that position. I don't think that any speech that is legal speech, like I understand, I can see it from their perspective. Look, you're running a company, you got advertisers or whatever, just because something is legal, say you right? Look, even on a basic level. I mean, imagine if Facebook or YouTube, then people can just upload porn and put up all kinds of crazy stuff. Right? It's not illegal, right? At the moment, Twitter allows porn, which is kind of weird because you can put up hardcore porn, but you can't.
It's actually crazy. You can put on
call a man who wants to be called she. If you call him, you could be banned. So the moderation does need to change, but there should be some, but it should be light touch. And I think it should also primarily, what they should do is push the moderation power it's already like that. Push the moderation power to the users. If you want to mute someone, you want to block someone, you want to have certain filters, then you should be allowed that. If you're like, I want to have a profanity-free Twitter experience. In fact, you can do that because you can go on your settings and you can mute every swear word. You input every swear word and mute them all. You're like, I don't even want to see swearing on my timeline. You can do that if you want to. You already have that power. But again, some people don't believe in individual power and responsibility, so they want everything to always have to come top down. And I think, look, there's some decency standards that can be top down.
Sure.
Not this misgendering policy and silliness like that. If someone's uploading stuff that is right,
salacious.
Graphic violence, obviously child pornography, things like that. I'd say I'm not even super puritanical in that sense, but I think it's very weird that you're allowed to put hardcore porn on Twitter.
I agree.
But then you get banned for
deadnaming.
Yeah, like that. That's ludicrous.
Yeah,
that's ludicrous. And
As Elon has said, he's like, I'm going to be pissing off people on both sides, and that must mean that I'm doing my job right.
Yeah, exactly.
Zuby, I'm curious, where can people find you? We know you're on Twitter. Where else are you?
I'm on all social media at Zuby Music, Zuby Music. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I've also got my podcast, Real Talk with Zuby, which is available on all platforms.
Amazing.
And of course, I've got my music out there, which is on all the main platforms. And if you go to teamzuby.com, teamzuby.com, you can find all my music and merchandise.
Which is the hat he's got on. You can get a dope-ass Team Zuby hat. Right. I love it. Thank you so much for being on the show. And guys, if you want to have a conversation that's free of censorship, go and debate people, you guys can join the Discord. It's in the link in the description down below. You guys are coming in droves and talking to each other. We've also had a group of leftists infiltrate the Discord and say they're taking screenshots to get the server taken down. So not cool, but leftists are invited too. Just keep it civil. Keep it classy. Make sure you go and follow Zuby Music. Thank you so much for being on.
Happy to do it.
And have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.